A.K.A. La Fe, who we now know was first born dead on the 7th day of July, 1777. Abigail was beneath to a coffin with 7 silver stripes, one through each arm, hand, and knee, and with the last of the silver be thrown through an earth so that she may never rise. The curse is again. Who will be the first? The blood of the Blackest.
All right. Let's see. Let's catch up with this thing over here. All right, there we go in camera once again. Yeah, I was just talking to my mom recently. Oh, it's been a busy day, seriously. Like, and I had the opportunity to finally talk to my mom, like, just to say hello to her, to see how she's doing and everything. She's all the way in Chile, in South America, and I get to speak to her once every 2 weeks, I would say, because sometimes, you know, some people they say, oh, you gotta kind of talk to your mom more often. But I don't have anything interesting sometimes to tell her or back and forth. But I kind of this was the chance to tell her something like going on that the project that I'm being working on today, along with my friends, who I want to thank them actually so much for the participation for the development of the second floor of my warehouse. I can be able to do the pop culture market event in my warehouse on the next month coming up. So, which is actually gonna be on Saturday, September the 20th. So you can come and check out all the heavy metal merchandise. You can come and check out all the CDs, metal, all the stuff like and different things that I have collected over the years that I have for sale, right? For everyone to share and of course like to pass on to the new legacies of the metal legions, right? At the same time, I want to say I apologize. I started the show a little bit later because, as I said to you, I'm being really busy. Today, I dedicated a barbecue to all the staff, to all the friends who actually supported us, actually, like with the development on the second floor, like by carrying material, things like that, like kind of transported it, whatever it is, and installed it as well. And I dedicated something nice to them because, to be honest with you, like they didn't ask me for anything in exchange. But at the same time, like myself, even that they didn't ask for anything in exchange, I wanted to treat them with something memorable by having a nice gathering, nice dinner together, prepared by me, like with all this barbecue stuff that I did. So that was technically the second barbecue that I do since my birthday. But anyways, enough for me. Let's talk about freaking metal music. And thank you so much for listening to Nocturnal Rituals Metal Podcast. My name is Rodrigo Jugulator Raquio, A.K.A. DJ Nocturne, and I'm here actually like to commit always like to be there. I try to be on time, but I couldn't today, of course, and I hope you understand. But still, like you are able like to reach this program one way or the other because you can catch up with the YouTube podcast list that I have of all the episodes of the Devil Cellar, where the Nocturnal Rituals Metal Podcast within the Devil Cellar channel, right? So by reviewing the songs, actually, like we started today, I go like, where I'm wearing a King Diamond shirt of the album House of God, which is actually like I got it at the time, like in year 2000 when they came to Toronto to play the show, right? And the thing is, like I got to actually play. I started the show with the song "Funeral" and "Arrival" from the album. Abigail that was actually released in 1987, which is also like my favorite album to listen to. And you know what? This is one of the albums I never get tired of listening to. And for some reason, it's the one that really marked me deeply over all the this discography of King Diamond. I gotta say. Of course, I'm not gonna. I'm not when I mention certain things about the taste that I have personally. I'm not here like to try to dictate you what you have to like or what not. What I'm saying is kind of according to the experience that I had to go through, I had the chance actually to be exposed to Abigail, and that was the one that really marked me right away from beginning to end. So, but if you have anything else, like kind of to say the Fatal Portrait, of course, like the other releases that King Diamond has released, like that's fucking wonderful and remarkable. But to me, it was the one that really touched me. It was actually like the Abigail album, I can say. At the same time, I just want to say like a freaking amazing like a intro, like a so obscure, so like a deep, like a horrific, right? Like a super like intense. And the song itself, Arrival, and the rest of the album, you know how it goes basically. Like it's one of the greatest conceptual albums basically about like Abigail Williams and the whole horror thing, the tragedy that happened and everything, like like so. I really love it, and actually, it's incredible how King Diamond is still putting on some great shows and still like actually giving it the best possible get to record albums and fulfill with mystery, right, and magical things on it. And then we went straight to Emperor because I was thinking, okay, like remember how like in the album Nonus Equilibrium or Nine Equilibrium, if you want to call it, that was released back in 1999. They they got a lot of inspiration and influences from King Diamond, especially the initial track that they had at the time. But at the same time, like I decided to play the second track because the first track, like a Curse You Ornament, has been so overplayed over the radio in the past, of, as far as I know, right? But I decided to play the second song, basically like a Decrystalizing Reason, and I I found that album actually like to be so freaking majestic. Actually, like you notice like the evolution of Emperor 2, it was a very drastic as well, like how they were evolving so much and progressing like with everything, like showing themselves actually how great musicians they are, like what they're capable of providing, right? And especially like I know that they haven't recorded in a while, but I mean, if you listen to that album like Prometheus and beyond after that, you get to see some of the presentations that they did live in certain festivals, like which they did their reappearance and all of that. It's like a kind of this guy's wow, they're unstoppable, but like the question still remains, like how come they haven't come out with another freaking at least a single or release or full album from it, right? And we really truly miss Emperor, and we wish or we hope at some day, at some point, they can come out with something new because I know they still got it. I know Isan is still like doing music and all of that, like on his own, like with his solo stuff. But Emperor, what happened to Emperor? We need more fucking Emperor in our lives, seriously. And Nonus Equilibrium is a totally recommendable album as well. So I just wanted to put King Diamond first as the inspiration for the album, Nonus Equilibrium for the vocal style as well, like how they started in the high pitched vocals that Ethan was trying to approach at the time. Then I decided to play a track that actually that I learned about Arcturus back in year 1999. The the song Naar, Kulda, which is actually like a Frostnettenes Prolog, and that's from the album Aspera Hymn Symphonia. That is like a kind of it's like a almost like a rough hymns of symphony or something like that, symphony of hymns, and yeah, if you want to translate or something like that, right? And it was released back in 1996. And the thing is with this album, like well, with this song that I chose, is one it was something that really remarkable, like how basically the way it was like progressing through a style that they were doing, right? And this song actually, to me, like it really marked me because it was the most catchy song that I found in the album. But not because it's catchy only, like I would say, oh yeah, like this is the most easy listening thing, like and that's the reason why I had to expose it out there. It just it marked me for some reason, like that even I know they're singing in a different language, like in Norwegian or something like that. And when you are back home in Chile and you just speak Spanish and you don't know any other language by that point, basically myself, I didn't know another language like before learning English. I started to kind of feel like, holy shit, this song for some reason really calls me, and like, there's something so freaking majestic about it, and I just cannot avoid it. So it really marked my youth, I would say, and I stuck to that song basically from Arcturus, and of course, Arcturus is one of those bands that actually like it's really hard to keep out like with their evolution because they have so much to offer like along the way, and with their amazing team of musicians that they evolve along the way as well, right? So yeah, definitely check it out. Put it on your homework. Yes, that's right. And then we jump to Bethlehem. Bethlehem is one of those bands I really need to do fucking hard my homework because they have gone through a lot of things actually. Like they have an extensive discography, and of course, like I really like how they call their first album dark metal because they truly fucking mean it. Especially like when they released it back in 1994, like maybe the founders pioneers of a new style of music by that point, right? Like so if there was doom metal like then like there was like a fucking dark metal, and dark metal actually of course like strikes in a different way, like these guys are coming from Germany. They have also the participation of the singer from the Darkened Slaughtercult, not the Darkness. Darken, Slaughtercult. No, not in Darken. Fuck. Okay, should be. Okay, fine. All right, I didn't get it. All right, but I'm gonna play one of their music at some point, anyways, because like it corresponds like to do the whole unity of exactly how they got connected. But that was actually her participation. Darken, Nocturne, Slaughter Call. There you go. Okay, now, okay, avoid the bullet. That's it. So the thing is, what happened is uh, the singer got a participation actually like on the on one of the albums of Bethlehem as well. And the song that I play of Bethlehem it was the seventh track like from the album Dark Metal first release that they had back in 1994. It was called Velled Irreligion. And I would say actually in regards to what I think about this band, like a kind of a not necessarily like what I think of it, like how it felt actually when I listened to it. Of course, they were trying really like a kind of a naturally approaching a new style of music as well. Like as I say to you, there was doom metal, probably ghost music and ghost metal or something like that, but they had dark metal, like a kind of a, which is actually a really cool genre style of it to name it for. And they persisted all the way like up to like the early 2010s, basically, like a kind of a, up to the album from 2013 called Necrovision. So, I don't want to say so much about this band because, of course, like just like you and I, we got homework to do, and that's what happens every time when we are actually entering here to Nocturnal Rituals Metal Podcast. It's all about catching up with the homework and things, gems that they were lost once upon a time, and they basically they're coming together one way or the other. So I just want to say, kind of a once again, like if there's something like a kind of a you think I have a misinformed you about or anything like that, please I apologize about that matter. But I myself, I try to like tell you stories that actually like I recollect mainly like through the history and experiences I have gone through myself, and things I have written. I have read over time, like through the years I have been studying about music and especially metal music and stuff like that beyond like the music or behind the scenes that I can say like I'm very correct in many of the things that I gotta tell you. But if you have some information that you wanna pass on and actually add on to it that I missed or anything like that, because I'm not gonna be able to tell you everything like about a band within few minutes. It's important for me that you share that information so actually like at the same time I can learn from yourself what you have to say. So yeah, there you go. We're gonna carry on with the program. Enough of myself talking because I know you guys get sick and tired about the whole thing. But anyways, we're gonna go and play like this. Let's see. Let's see what we're gonna play. We're gonna play. Ah, oh, okay. Yeah, let's go. This is freaking homework. What the hell? Yeah. So here's some Darkened Nocturne is not record for you here only at the Nocturnal Rituals podcast. So enjoy. and that was another like section of the music that we enjoy to play, which is metal music all the time, right? So here we go. Okay, where's my pretty face? I can find my pretty. Oh, there's my pretty. I want pretty face. Like, get out. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? Anyways, like here we are, like the Devil's Cellar, like directing the Nocturnal Rituals Metal podcast. As I said to you, like even the commitment that I take, like to do my work, that I had to get up every day at 4:30 in the morning, like because they changed the schedule, and I was going to change the schedule of the presentation for the podcast. I was going to do much earlier, but at the same time, like I like to keep things steady. And I know, like I show up like later today, like 20 minutes later. But you know what? Like kind of you do your best possible, especially like when you have so much on your plate. In my situation, I always got something to do or something on the go, and that doesn't stop until my last day on earth. Basically, it's gonna be like that, and the people around me, especially my wife, knows actually like what it's all about, what I try to do anyway. And exactly like also the things like what you do, like necessarily they have to be like a monetary compensate or anything like that. No, you do it because you feel it from the heart and soul. And you know what? Like that's one of the demonstrations, the best that you can do actually for people that they are close to you, like in the way you can support them in any way possible by just putting attention or putting kind of giving the attention to what they're trying to do and how they are trying to evolve with it eventually, right? And that's actually like a kind of a people they seek more than actually like being compensated monetarily, I would say, because the money comes and goes. But when you want to actually solidify something like this, like it's supposed that what I'm trying to do or something steady every weekend, like a kind of like the metal podcast, no matter what kind of state of mind I am or anything like that, I feel like I go through with it. But yeah, no, today was like a very enjoyable day, I can say. Like, and I want to thanks once again to my whole team of friends who actually participated today, like in the little barbecue that I organized at my place. Like to thank them for helping me out to expand the place. Actually, like for the vision that I have, like that is unstoppable. Like, and the vision that I have is not actually just for something for myself, for my own purposes, so actually to share it with everyone else who take wants to take part of actually what I'm creating and what I'm trying to develop. So that's the whole thing. Like when you create something for someone else, and I told my team like kind of they didn't expect anything, and I cannot really say like of course like knowing in a capitalist world like this, kind of they always transaction monetary and stuff like that. But there's other ways actually like you can compensate people like by treating them well. Like nominate them, give them something like a suppose they made them feel like a great. And so I decided to make a fucking barbecue today, right? And we had a freaking hell of a time. Like it was freaking amazing. Like and they truly enjoyed it. And I say, hey, you know what? I didn't cook all the meat. I still have some packages of meat. So how about we try another barbecue once we truly finish the project, which is gonna be hopefully in the next weekend, so we can have everything arranged and organized. So yeah, things they don't just stop there. It's about like a kind of it's about legacy. If you actually like a kind of a notice that actually like when it comes like to money transaction as well. I'm not saying like kind of I'm against money. No, it's a necessary evil, of course. But it helps you like to go through things like to in advance in life, of course, and all of that. But what happens is like kind of but when you have friends actually that sometimes they want to just say help you on and they don't expect fuck all at all. They don't expect nothing in exchange. But you're nice to them and you offer them something, right? Like you are attentive to them, receptive, they are willing to do much more for you, like because they know in the kind of person you are. But at the same time, like I don't want to say like a kind of like someone special because sometimes I believe like I know I don't deserve certain things. Like I kind of I'm not that special either. But at the same time, like but sometimes you have to take the word when they say no, you are important to us and we want to help you out with something. And no, it doesn't require money like to get shit done. Believe it. Take the word because if you question about that at the same time, it's kind of like it's gonna make them feel bad about it because they want to be part of something, right? So the whole idea is like to always credit them for what they take participation on. And today I did that thing by offering a barbecue, and we had a freaking amazing time. And we almost completed the project today. But at the same time, we're doing our best, and no things they supposed to happen like, oh no, it has to be done right now, like or anything like that. No, nothing like that. I did never carry that kind of attitude. So I gotta thank to all of them. Thank you so much for your participation on this. Like I feel super happy and jolly about it. And yeah, like I'm looking forward like to see what's gonna happen next at the Devil's Cellar. So yeah, like that was a wonderful day and yeah, fucking barbecue. Like really kick our asses for sure. Plus the range that we have, right? Anyways, we're gonna go and check out the songs actually. Let's review actually what we just played. So we started with Darkened, Nocturne, Slaughtercult. Okay, Darkened, Nocturne, Slaughtercult. That's how it. Yeah, German band actually. With this beautiful singer that has like a very long blonde hair and stuff like that. And she looks evil as fuck on stage. I got the chance to actually see them live playing back in Montreal in the Mercenarios number 2, which is actually I was wearing the T-shirt the other day. They actually yeah kind of it was phenomenal their appearance actually when they had to do the performance for that. So the thing is I got to actually just play their song right now because it had a connection as well how the singer actually also participated in few of the albums of Bethlehem like performing vocals as well, right? Did she play guitar? I'm not really sure about that, but basically something that it's up to you. We gotta do homework together, and they have a very extensive discography. So I'm still studying about them and their music, of course, what they provide as a German black metal band, kind of their sound is freaking freaking unique, like a super exquisite, right? So then after that, we went back to the South Africa, to check out Crow Black Sky, what was it different to what I played the first time to what they had to release later on over the years, right? Because the band's still going on steady, which is actually great. And I also believe that actually they had the potential to provide much more of actually what they provided at the time where it was like a first impacting of exposing the first album, first of all giving it out for free, to download and also the only thing about the t-shirt, of course I haven't gotten my t-shirt because it's so fucking costly, right? The importation to here. But at the same time, I gotta say again, these guys they work really hard for what they have to and for what they're up to right now in this kind of level. So make sure that actually you look more into them. They are. I, I don't have to promise you shit. Actually, I stopped making promises up to the age of 29. Yeah, no. And then I said to myself, okay, that's it. I'm never making more promises because the shit doesn't work the way I want to sometimes. So what you do is a kind of I would never actually suggest you anything a kind of that's freaking shitty. So Crow Black Sky, remember the name, is a great band to check out. They're from South Africa, and actually, check out their story how they brought together themselves to the light of the world for what was going on at the time back in year 2011, 2012. Then we go to classic Darkthrone, of course. We play something from Transylvania Hunger, and we play the second track, and it's called Overfell Og Turner. Okay, whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah, whatever it is you wanna kind of say a much better. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, that's how you pronounce it. No, not to me, buddy. You just try my best. Shit is hard to read. Okay, it's not that easy, but I like how actually they are expressing their own language about it. Right, so. This song was the second track from the album that was released back in 1994. Of course, Transylvania Hunger is a fucking furious, ambitious fucking album, right? Ambitious in a way, no. I would say kind of the steadiness actually in the compositions that they have, how heavy and brutal it goes, along the way, how it expands through the songs, right? And especially the main title, that gives you a perfect example what Transylvania Hunger album is about. That tells you exactly how is the potential of what is gonna be expanding to or the vision I will provide you for later on, to foresee what they were going to embrace in the future, right? And of course, a kind of events, they got the right to go through changes, but I like the rawness of that album, right? Still, a place in the northern sky, of course, that's the one that you always hear us say really hard out there, right? So yeah, I would say actually if you haven't had the chance to listen to the full album, check it out. That's the third release. Yeah, it is the third release actually of that one. Is it the third release? Oh my god, I'm gonna get my ass kicked for this shit. Never mind, I'm gonna shut up for now. And then what we play is Keep of Kalessin. Keep Kalessin, of course, is a band actually that went through a lot of transformations in a way where, it kind of musically as well, production wise, and all of that. Had the chance actually to witness them playing back in year 2009 in Toronto. And the thing is that they play something that they released from the year 1997 from the album Through Times of War. and they play the song. I play the song "I Choose to Suffer," which is actually the fourth track of the album. And that's also like an interesting band to check out, like how the transformation, the evolution they provided over time in music. It was so great. Even I came across actually when to the T-shirt of that. I sold it, of course, because that's my business to sell T-shirts, right? I came across that T-shirt, that collectible to the Times of War, and I kind of yeah, like I noticed how like the design of the logo was totally different compared to what they were presenting in the era of Armada and all of that, right? So yeah, like it's part of the evolution of different bands, like what they choose, what to do or what not, right? And yeah, what else can I tell you? Do your homework. Yeah, like if you want to know more about the band, go and check them out. And of course, you're gonna enjoy totally what they got to offer. Continuing with the show because, as I said, I don't know even what time I'm gonna go to bed because of the whole thing that 20 minutes late. But I want to be responsible with the timing that actually I got to provide in every show. And as I say to you, like I'm not doing this for money or anything like that. I'm just doing it for the sake because I actually love music so much, and I like to also study and learn more things actually related to metal music and things I actually will skip once upon a time or we didn't have the chance to listen to, we got the chance to actually to do our homework now. So let's continue with some Maniac Butcher here, only on Nocturnal Rituals Metal Podcast.
Es un imponente, el hombre desenmascara. Fuego en el cielo, sobre la arena. Mares de muerte que alimentan la pudrida pena. Hijos de la tierra devoran mis entrañas. Arrasan todavía, conscientes de infamia. Construyen el presente, destruyendo el mañana. Es omnipotente, el hombre desenmascara. Destruyendo el mañana. Es un imponente, el hombre se mascona.
And there we go with another section of the Nocturnal Rituals Metal Podcast. So, well, we got so much covered, right? And you know how when it comes like to whatever the groove is flowing right now, right? Like having my have my barbecue, have my little wine here, right? Like before going to bed and stuff like that, right? So I can knock myself out and I can get up like in 6 hours more or anything like that. I just wanted to say like thank you for checking out the show here. Like also if you had the time like to share with other friends and tell them about like what I'm trying to do here in regards of sharing about music knowledge and all of that. It's not like a kind of a about why I just know. Like I pass you some simple information. Like I try to summarize it according to the experience I have gone through myself. But doesn't mean that it's everything. Like it had to be based on myself. Like it's about the music that is played. It's about the songs, right? And I tell you a little bit about it and the bands for you to have a certain guidance. Especially like if you have been like a kind of intrigued about what metal music is about, because it's always this thing too. Like that some people they have a not necessarily they have to join a certain movement, a music movement or something like that, but they have the interest about like a what is it like about produces like a certain effect or sentiment or feeling like a let's say like a, to certain people about listening to certain styles of music, right? And actually, I've been asked a lot about because you know, like I work with different people and I socialize with a lot of different crowds, and they know I'm a metalhead. I listen to lots of metal music at the same time, but I also because uh, you know, I always believe like the ears are made to hear things, and I also like I listen to other styles of music that sometimes I go deep on it as well, like and I have a knack of knowing the history as well and all of that, right? Like synthesized music, especially or stuff from the 80s, right? And so it doesn't just end there that you're just the simply metalhead. It just like especially when you're involved with music, you like to compose music, this and that. You try to get like a different ways of become influenced, right? Like on the different styles of that are out there. As I would say, like, and I remark once again, music is the soundtrack of our lives. And if we deprive ourselves from listening to music, sometimes, of course, it's gonna be something that makes us kind of uncomfortable, or we just want to despise, and it's not really for us. It's totally understandable, right? But at the same time, like, you just gotta make yourself understand that we live in a society that people that they have different experiences, and everybody goes through a different experience, and we listen to different stuff. Sometimes, you know, they made us feel well, and you want to start your day however it is, or you want to go through it however it is, like according to what music you are playing, what not, right? But you have to always gotta keep an open mind because in the end, everything ends not just about metal music, but music in general. Like kind of you have to understand like many metal musicians as well. Like they were really influenced by other genres of music, not necessarily for based on metal music, right? Because it's all a part of an evolution. So when I share like bands with you and stuff like that, I give you the basics of it. Like, and it's up to you if you want to pick up like a kind of if you show some interest or something like that, or you are intrigued about knowing more about the band. You go ahead and you search it up around and you do part of your homework, right? Like you can what is it, like pick up magazines, like or go to some websites. Actually, they have information around metal archives, right? Like and things like that, Wikipedia. But the whole idea is like a kind of a keeping an open mind because sometimes you will be surprised actually like some of the bands where they obtain the music influences from, right? And it doesn't mean like a kind of they break the circle of a being that they are devoted to like just because of the sake of metal music. It's just simply music, simple as that, right? And we all portray it according to how we feel. Like so, just passing that message to you guys. I know, like sometimes you will think like this fucking guy. Sometimes he goes in a fucking rails of like a kind of talking different things. But no, I do make sense in a way because like sometimes I have to speak to myself in a matter like to keep myself motivated, like to understand again, to listen to other types of music. So just keep an open mind and you got no idea what you're gonna discover out there basically, right? So anyways, back to the program because I know you sometimes I know. Just tell me that you are freaking sick and tired of my shit, okay? But it's alright, I can take it. Alright? I gotta take skin after all the many years I've been listening to metal music, right? So yeah, we started with a keep of Kalessin. Did we start with keep of Kalessin? No, actually we fucking did. You know what? I fucking made the mistake here because like on my thanks a lot wine because why not, right? Like kind of a fucking mistake I made here is because I didn't actually put a band I was supposed to put here on the list, right? Because as we're gonna review, and you know the thing is like you gotta accept life as it is. Like you got the right to fucking make mistakes, motherfucker, right? So, hmm. And actually, even I didn't play four songs at all. Fuck me. Okay, whatever. Like kind of a, it's just another day in Paris, right? Anyways, we started with a Maniac Butcher and we played the song Bloody Thoughts as well, other different needs for easy running of the world. Like fucking long title. Anyways, like we got to actually listen to this track, which is actually like a pretty amazing from this band. And a lot of people they call it kind of cheesy because of the cover art for that, how they put themselves with the big spikes and everything, right? That kind of like and the logo is fucking hilarious. But I love it though. Like I like what the fuck they're doing. Like it's almost like it reminds me of the what is it of the band sadistic execution. You know how cheesy they can get and stuff like that. But I fucking love their music. Like so, what the hell? Why not, right? And you got the right to actually to have fun with music as well, right? It doesn't make you impure or anything like that. And I played something from the album that got released back in 1999. It was called In Base, which said like in which is invasive if you wanna say or something like that. But that third track actually like it really fucking kicked it really well. And I like the rawness of the band, of course, and I gotta do my homework myself, and I wanna tell you more about the band because I don't know enough about them, and that's the other thing. Acceptance. If you say like a kind of a you don't know enough about something, don't make shit up. And the thing is that because people that are gonna dislike you. And the thing is, I don't like to make shit up. I recognize I say like if I say no, I don't know them, or oh, have you heard this band? No, I haven't heard them. I haven't had the chance of it. Or people they can probably at some point they can mention it, and I just never really freaking care or never really got the chance to listen to it. So, anyways, we're gonna go to the next band. Luciferion is one of the bands that actually have been intrigued for many years since, especially the '90s, right? And I played something from the album Demonication, the Manifest. That was released back in 1994, and it was the first track called like a Christ Dethroned. And now Luciferion, of course, like it had like a more kind of has this kind of a black and death metal, if you wanna say like it with them, like it the orientation that they follow, right? And that's one thing that actually makes it like very like a kind of a intriguing about the band because like that's exactly like a kind of a what they are about, like a kind of a they carry on with the evolution of the traditional death metal, but at the same time they blacken that, right? Like a kind of a I don't know if I got the right or to do a comparison in a way. But for some reason, I always like used to think of a Luciferion very similar to the band Lord Belial. And of course, Lord Belial, they have like an extensive discography, and I cannot say they are the same. It's just simply whenever I would think or about these bands, like there was something actually I always think of the other, you know. And sometimes you can compare notes when you listen to their music. Not saying they are the same, but it's important actually to keep in mind that you don't forget one because of the other, which is actually pretty cool, and it makes it more helpful for you to go on and check out like what they have to offer as well musically. After Luciferion, as I say, like I'm not gonna make up anything. Like I need to study more about them. Their discography is very extensive, but I really enjoy that track that I chose. Like kind of came to mind and saying, yeah, okay, I'm gonna play that track. Then I played Witchery. Actually, the Witchery EP, the Witch Burner, that was a very interesting release because some people sometimes they tend to disregard EPs. Let's talk clear this thing. Let's clarify the following. Just because an album doesn't have or release doesn't have enough tracks, it means it kind of is insignificant. Actually, EPs the importance that they play is because they tend to display a lot of exclusive material that they might not even have the chance to make it through a full release in the future or something. But they play an important role because sometimes they make it so significant about kind of the shortage of songs, the amount of songs that they put onto it. And I have come across many EPs that sometimes it has up to five tracks kind of thing, or the minimum or something like that. And this is one of them. When I pick up the Witchery EP, I look at it and I go wow, this is a nice digipack. And I open it up and I notice they're playing some cover songs of my favorite bands, especially Accept, right? And I'm this is fucking awesome, man. The way he's starting that song fast as a shark. So when I got it, I was freaking falling for it, right? And sometimes it was kind of when you enjoy this music that is precise, it gets to the point. It's a short and sweet. It's that's exactly what you and you couldn't ask for more because many times, sometimes even successful bands, sometimes they release a single song, and that's the only one that's gonna actually catch your ears to follow it. But then the rest of it is just a fulfillment and it's freaking empty, soulless shit that just basically doesn't freaking even make it to the charts whatsoever, and they just there just to complete a fucking full hour of LP release. And the thing is that when it comes to the satisfaction of holding on of an EP, just exactly the Witch Burner of Witchery that was actually released back in 1999. Man, I gotta tell you, it kind of it was one of those feelings, especially I was only 19 years old at the time, and I was fucking blown away. The way they play the covers, they played actually, they introduced some of their original tracks and everything. So I gotta say, Witchery actually even the trajectory that they have gone through over the years and all of that, it has been incredible. And even they have had the involvement of singers a Toxin, they have had even Legion as well, and they had also the former. Did they have actually Caligula, the former singer of Dark Funeral at one point as well, in one of the participation the releases in 2010s actually released. But at the same time, they went to a variety of singers, and which is a really cool thing. But when they released that EP, I was yeah, I'm sold. These guys, they did a freaking phenomenal thing with a little sweet and short. It's almost like a kind of way when you're gonna go and drink a short, a shot, right? You're gonna say, hey, you wanna do a shot? Sure, okay, let's take it. And you take it and you go ooh, yeah, that shit really kicked my ass, kind of thing, right? So that's how I compared an EP, exactly like a witch burner from Witchery. And we played the song The Reaper, which is the eighth track of the EP album. And then when I decided to play some Torturer, of course, I can play Torturer, I can play part of the demos, of course, and things like that, right? And at the same time, I wanted to play something like it from an album that I got picked up back in year 2004 from CDN Records when they were actually selling CDs actually at one of the shows actually we were attending at the time. And suddenly I find fucking torture and it's like a new release, yeah, from 2003. The guy actually suggested to me kind of he said, "Oh, you're from Chile, right? Yeah." Well, yeah, like he was like, "Yeah, like they just thing," because I knew him before. Like even I told him that I'm from Chile. Like he knew me actually since the time I started to attend concerts, and he kind of noticed I was picking up a lot of Chilean material that I didn't have access back home, but I was able like to pick it up here. And the thing is, I like it that record so much. The Flames of Purification is like, especially the drumming style and the guitars is so fucking traditional distraction, like a very Germanic the style of thrash metal, the way they play it and everything. And the vocals of Pancho Tortura is much like a fucking deeper, rougher and stuff like that. And still with a high pitch kind of thing, but much kind of a baritone style, right? So I really enjoyed like what they had to say, like wow, what they were doing, and they were singing in Spanish as well, right? Like the song Bestia Omnipotente, like it's like an overlord beast, right? That's what I mean. And yeah, like it kind of I was in love with this freaking album, and that's fucking torture. Actually, torture is still like a good, well, and alive, and they're still fucking playing. They're still active back in Chile, and it's one of the pioneer bands of course, of the death thrash metal scene back home. So yeah, enough of my talking because I know, yeah, I don't fucking care what you think. You know what? Like it's my fucking show, and I don't get paid for it, and I'm just gonna carry on with what I'm doing. So fuck you if you don't like it. Anyways, here we go with some like I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but you're gonna check it out and you're gonna listen to it and you're gonna dig it because you're gonna love it. This is Nocturnal Rituals Metal Podcast directly from the Devil's Cellar. Enjoy.
I know the law, you bastards.
Fuck with you, fuck with me, this thing will be our way. Drawing line, action line, shut the fucking thing. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. Fuck the criminal justice bow, shove it up your arse. Crime on the increase, to blame the working class. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. Corruption in the government, corruption in the crowd. For justice in the system, that's nearly bringing down. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. Fuck with you, fuck with me, this ain't no fit our way. Drawing line, acting line, just the fucking thing. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me. There's a law for the rich, a law for people like you and me.
They forced me to do it. I'm innocent.
This is the hour of the savage guns. Beyond the veil and beyond the sun. Gang that was setting by the meaning call of God. Time of sacrificing the change of cause. The code of law in the hand of the one. Protection through the hanging tree. Blood hounds in the hand of those who will have to bleed. Hanging judge is the law. Hanging judge, you're the snow. Hanging judge, the time will fall. Hanging judge.
and there you go. So we play another freaking. See, the thing what we do here in this program, like we go through the sections of 4 songs until I open my fucking mouth, right? Like because of being the locutor, the host of this program, right? Because sometimes some people they will say, "Shit, why did the fucking guy like is talking?" But you need information from me because you might take it in consideration as a lesson for the stories I got to share with you. And of course, like just to remind you, I'm not your fucking jukebox. Like the whole idea here, I'm here to introduce you to music. I'm not gonna play the shit that you want because usually it's always the same late shit that you request just because it's the most popular song. So I don't do that thing. I don't take shit. And I also metal music. It shouldn't be about fucking sympathy. It's about rebellion as well. So just to remind you that we're not trying to fit in society. Like I don't know, like we're just like we do our own thing. Like it kind of is independence. It's about the sense of independence. We run things our own way with the little and nothing that we have. I don't know. That's how I live my life. I respond to the things I have to do. I try to provide something to society like everyone else. Well, everybody of course does because they, how much shit is going on out there. But it's still like for what you have, for your own left for your own devices, you gotta actually do the best possible like at the same time to provide something so things can run around, right? But we have an independent life that actually we shouldn't be responding to anybody or giving excuses of the reason why we follow the path we follow. And that's called independence. And the thing is that thanks to the internet, of course, it gives us the power to express ourselves of who we are. So at the same time, just to let anybody know that basically, it seems of course I'm not producing any damages to anybody, and I'm not trying to twist the mind of people out there because you got the right to actually follow your own path of whatever the fuck you want to do with your life, of course, right? I'm not here to tell you to dictate how you have to run your life, but in a systematic way, how we live our lives, where we are under submitted, like a totalitarianism that is leading to similar to 1984 kind of thing, which is actually evolving more and more. I gotta tell you, do your own shit and come into resistance. That's it, like as much as you can, and that's what I do basically, and that's how I live my life happy and with the ones I have surrounding me and everything. So yeah, that's all I can tell you, and that's why in a way I feel like it's sometimes I'm running like almost like a pirate radio, and it's not a pirate radio. Of course, it would be pirate because YouTube comes with the whole thing. Oh yeah, do you have the license to play this song, this and that? I go why should I fucking even have a license? There's no money involved in this thing. The record labels and the YouTube they should be fucking taking me. They should be sucking my dick right now because I'm actually exhibiting a lot of bands out there actually that they never had the chance before to be here, or they were just simply forgotten in the modern times. I try to introduce a lot of bands actually they never actually nobody plays them anymore because they know the new thing, and everybody's onto the new thing. The media wants to just get their eyes and ears onto the new thing, and with me that doesn't happen. Probably I'm from a different time. I'm stuck in the past or something, but that's me, simple as that. And I think the ones who stick around to listen to this because at the same time you might feel a certain familiarity. You feel a similarity about me, the lifestyle that I carry. Not completely, but you feel yeah, well, this guy got a point because I mean, who the hell talks about all these bands actually have played in a way, unless if they're the hot thing or they are releasing something new. And the thing is that there's been a lot of freaking bands that they have been forgotten along the way, and myself, I have tried the best possible to cover them up. And that's all I gotta say. That one of the things, the reason why I enjoy the direction that I carry, and I made participation at one point. I'm not gonna say the name of the radio show because they don't deserve the credit, even though they're not around anymore. But at the same time, it's just like a kind of some people they don't deserve the credit of it. But I was invited at one point to 2 episodes of a radio station back in year 2012. And yeah, no, I really enjoyed actually doing the program. And some people even when I would see them in the concerts after, they would say, "Hey, I really like how you talk and everything." The way you express yourself or you describe situations when you're in front of the microphone, you have the chance to talk, right? And here I am, like a kind of a. I was even thinking about that, like a kind of a revisiting. What was it like 10 years ago when I wanted to do this thing? And can I be able to do it again? And all of that, in certain way. And of course, when you have your own direction, bring everything into formation. And also, like the other thing I was going to say, if you have your radio show, send it to me. Like I would like to check it out because you might be able to teach me something that I might not know or I'm aware. But the many things I have done so far is been because I have learned it from other people, like multiculturally, how they actually they conduct their radio station. That's all. So I don't have a profession. I know like a freaking I'm titled. I went to college to do broadcasting shit like that. Fuck you. I'm not gonna pay shit for that. Like so I came with the initiative of actually start doing my own thing basically. So like when it comes to the podcast. So a lot of people, of course, like the role they play sometimes, and this is my persona. Like I don't try to play another persona, and that's what happens. I noticed one thing about many people that I cannot look up to when they're actually conducting a radio show or they are trying to host like some kind of a podcast because they always like try to be someone that they're not. Like they for some reason they put themselves a little bit more altaneer or shit like that. And that doesn't go along with the lines or with the things I actually want to do with the purpose of what I'm trying to communicate. So yeah, no, like it kind of a while I'm the one with the microphone right now. I got the right to say these things because a lot of people they get cut out from those things. Oh yeah, you cannot say that shit. Like you have to go under this direction or stick to the fucking script. I don't have any fucking script. When I even select the songs here, I just go grab them, boom, 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 put them over there, like and they play on its own. Simple as that. Because of and I do sometimes like the research automatically right there, like of what they are about. But I notice like a kind of a lot of people they try to portray this double facade, like a kind of a who they are on the radio or they get off the radio and they probably that's someone else and someone more shallow or they don't or different personality for what they try to portray in front of the camera and talk. So that there's a reason why I actually do the thing of this kind of radio, like a kind of a showing myself of like who I am. Like I don't try to be nobody else. Everything's under my direction. Like I have like what is it, the support of people that actually they listen to this and they have send comments motivating me and saying like yeah, carry on with the show. It's fucking entertaining. Like so there are many things to be done. Like and it doesn't just end there. So when you are like kind of conducting something like that, of course there are people that are gonna say, oh yeah, I can do better. If you can do better than me, go ahead and do it and send me the link to your thing. Maybe I'm gonna learn one or two things. But if you're just gonna be opinionated and you're not doing anything, then like what the hell? Why am I gonna learn from you, or where is gonna be the constructive criticism that you have to provide? So that's the reason why things like it keeps me motivated going. So I do my homework, and that's all it matters. I'm a good student in that part, right? So yeah. So anyways, enough again, right? Because we're about to finish the show anyways. Like it's 20 after 10, and myself, I had to go to bed at some point. At least if I can fall asleep like 11 o'clock, I'm fine with it. And I know I will at one point. So if I can sleep like 5 hours, I'm super good to produce tomorrow, like to respond to my work. All right, so we're gonna go. Actually, I started with Testament because I like that chill song of the album The Gathering, like which it wasn't a spectacular album because that was the album they Lombardo actually joined in, right? And there was like also Steve DiGiorgio playing bass, right? And like also Steve DiGiorgio was going back and forth in different bands too. He was playing with Death and all of that, right? And yeah, no, the album is super spectacular. What they brought together. To be honest with you, I like it better than Demonic for what they tried to do in Demonic. And Demonic, I don't know, I found it a little bit confusing. It just doesn't mark it, doesn't brand on in my brain. For some reason, it's not like a remarkable album, or maybe I have to listen to them more. But it's not like those when you listen to them, you go like, "Oh, this shit is interesting." Like the album "The Gathering" is super, like it got a lot to provide, and it's a super wicked album from Testament. Like they took it to a fucking brand new level to the top right there, and it was released back in 1999. So I got the chance when I came to Canada just recently. At the time, I went to see the show with my friend Shinoeda from Japan, which is actually, in case of anything I'm throwing it out there, if you know some Shinoeda from Osaka, Japan, please tell him to contact me because I haven't fucking heard from him in a while, and I tried to search for him and I haven't found him in social media. So that's another thing that sometimes he saddens me because he was a really fucking cool friend and everything. And I remember both of us we didn't speak that much English, and we will go to the concerts, and we will communicate so fucking well. Always having that fucking wild time in this show. Oh, you going to this? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, 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 hi. Yeah. So we were doing that kind of thing, right? And we were at that show, and also like it kind of because at last minute, the promoter what he says that I need more hands actually like to load out like the instruments of the band. Would you like to help? And we were like, yeah, sure. We were not expecting money, but the fucking guy pay us money. And we were like, huh? Like, no, 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 we don't want anything. Like, we wanted just to help out the band, right? Because when you're a fan, you provide devotion and you were doing it with your heart, right? Because like that was my first experience of actually working for an international band. That kind of let me inspire me, like to work eventually, like in doing load in, load out, and security for bands in the year 2000s, right? So that's an initiative in a way that you never think like a kind of way what you're gonna end up, like what you're gonna end up doing, right? So I pick up that thing, my friend Shinoeda and myself, we were loading the instruments for Testament, and we were kind of laughing with each other after in the cafeteria that we were sitting down at. We were like, shit, well, like we even got paid. Like, what the fuck? I didn't know. Actually, they paid the console like for doing a little thing like that, and they were heavy instruments that we had to load up. But it wasn't just us. Like it was other people that we had to give an extra hand to, right? But that was the first experience, I would say, thanks to Testament and thanks to my friend Shinoeda, that I was able to experience what it is behind the scenes of helping out a band to do the loading, load out of instruments. And yeah, and it was from the second floor from the Yermo campus. So that was a lot of fucking fun. Uh, Anyways, carry on with it. Yeah, we played the song ISO Rod, which is actually the third track of the album The Gathering. Check it out if you haven't had the chance of it. It's one of the most solid releases, I would say, from Testament in years. So check it out for sure. Then, for some reason, I felt like a kind of let's play some fucking The Exploited. Let's go punkish here. And that fucking album, they beat the bastards, is fucking phenomenal. I love that album so much. Especially when I hear the song the first time, like I beat the bastards, the main title like, with the video clip, it was fucking wild. So I play a song that is called the Love for the Rich. And it's true actually, like these guys how they say it, like you know, like the transformation of this band as well, like the progression that they were evolving like through metal to doing like a between punk and evolving to metal, like a kind of it was freaking phenomenal what they were doing. It was unstoppable, right? And the thing is, I was thinking, shit, man, like a kind of this album is so fucking solid, so like a freaking like it pisses you off in a way, like especially when you listen to the lyrics, kind of it makes you feel like a kind of a fucking full of anger, like just a pure fire that shit, right? And yeah, like that's an album actually you wanna check out for sure. The from the Beat the Bastards album, Love for the Rich, which is actually yes, there's always a love for the rich, which is actually not many people in the actual popularity know. So suck it up, know it, learn from it, whatever it is. Then we went to Sodom. I wanted something fucking punkish again, and I went to Sodom like to revisit the album Till Death Do Us Unite. That actually contains one of the most controversial albums photographies ever taken in the history of music as well. Like kind of someone said that, or I saw a report like that. It might be the most controversial one, not, but it was controversial in a way. If you remember well the cover artwork, like of course go and look it up from Sodom Till Death Do Us Unite. That was a release actually in 1997, and that was when Sodom and they were going more punkish. Like this was a release after the Masquerade in Blood. Masquerade in Blood it was like a fucking heavy album, right? But this one here, like I mean, what sort of album is not heavy? I mean, what the fuck am I saying? But they are all different, and the way they progress with each other. The thing is, this album of Sodom it was more punkish, and I played the song the Hanging Judge, which is actually the fifth track of the album. And these guys are fucking furious. I mean, look at Tom and Your River, like the way he freaking bangs to all these songs, like the way he plays them, like the intensity of it. These guys are the fucking motorhead of thrash metal. Simple as that. Like Sodom, it's always been the like kind of the motorhead of thrash metal. Like for that single style, especially for the Germanic for the German style, right? That they provide. And yeah, like you can check it out if you haven't had the chance. But if you're not a fan of punk, see, that's the thing. There was always an finicky line. Like some people, they wouldn't consider punk or the metalheads. They're like, yeah, punk music, this and that. But you know what? Like a lot of the metal music is influenced by punk music, so you gotta consider it's a full evolution thing. And the reason why you gotta keep your ears open because imagine especially the guitarists of the Slayer, like all of them, they were influenced by punk music. So you have to understand that they don't have to listen necessarily to the same music that they're providing. They're influenced by other styles in which it actually they can evolve to what they have, what they're trying to provide, or stay their name style with what they're working with. Okay. And then we got S.O.D, of course. S.O.D, fucking classic Stormtroopers of Death. Man, like, if me listening to that since I was a kid, and I remember, like, you freaking seeing the cover art where it always made me laugh. They speak English or not. Like, what the fuck, this guy? And I play the song and Fist Banging Mania. Usually, I always go for the song like a fucking pussy whip, right? Because I try sometimes, I send it to some fucking guys sometimes, and you know that they're a bunch of fucking pussy whips. You know, they do everything that they're told. But that's another story. Like, that's your own problem, that's not mine. That's what happened with me. And when I said no, because what you're doing actually, the best thing to come to reason is actually when you are with your partner, basically, like what you have to do is negotiate and then communicate the situations that basically struggles that you're going through. But if you have someone who is trying to command you in everything what you have to do, like a daily and kind of oppressing you and stuff like that, yeah, then you're a fucking pussy, man. Sorry, nothing I can do. Don't hate me, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know, that's how it is. So yeah, fucking classic S.O.D. Like always fucking hilarious. I mean, look at Billy Milano and the rest of the guys over there. Like they were fucking totally ah wow at the time. Like one of the best projects I would say that ever released in history of metal music and hardcore music, right? All right, so we're gonna carry on and we go to another Chilean band that is called actually Sentencia, and this is the song Mercenarios De La Fe. So enjoy here at the Devil Cellar because we're about to finish the show anyways, and of course many of you are wishing that yeah this fucking guy like you should shut up and come and go to bed and go to work. And I see you next Sunday until you're sober again. Here we go. This is Sentencia for you, motherfuckers. Enjoy.
Enemy, la
Wow. But you think, in a way, this is how we're gonna finish the show? Because, I mean, I know it's been already like a freaking, well, see, that's the thing. Like, when it comes to metal music, the way we listen to the shit, and we are having a blast, and you're having a drinking hand, and you're fucking like a, yeah, like you're fucking thrashing it out, whatever the mood that you feel like, in any style of metal music, like, fuck, man, like right now I feel like, shit, I gotta go to work, and you have to be responsive to your things that you gotta do, right? And I love my job, actually. It's not one of those jobs that you feel like, fuck, I gotta go on the same miserable place. The place produces misery to me, and I gotta drag it on my shoulders, like on the way home as well. No, actually, like, I gotta be thankful that the job that I initiated and I devoted to my time, especially, I had to put on hold my actual market that basically, like, I was running like for quite a while, right, for 2 months, because I wanted to put my full devotion into the new venture that I was going to embrace. So when I tell you these stories, like, I'm a very simple guy, like a super down to earth, like, I come with no excuses whatsoever. I have been, of course, a person, like everyone. We all got our own struggles that you have to go through, and try to superate one way or the other. And you have to remember that there are no highs without lows. Like, it's a irrealistic if you carry that kind of a mindset. So you have to always think there are highs and lows, and you have to adapt and prepare to anything possible, right? So what happens is, I gotta say that I'm super thankful with the job I have. Like, some people, they would say, "Oh, that's he get paid a lot of money." You know what? Like, that's not your fucking business. Because first of all, like, one thing I was going to even advise to some people, because I've seen a lot of people are struggling out there finding a job, wherever you are located, whatever nation it is, whatever situations that you have to deal with. Some people, they are like, the first thing that you should never fucking do. Actually, if you're looking for a job and you want an opportunity to actually for you to provide productivity in something, never ask about how much they're paying. And the reason why is because, like, it shows them to anybody, everybody's in the for the money. All right? Like, whatever work it is, you're gonna get compensated. You know that. You have that already clear. At the same time, it doesn't matter in the value, and even if it's out of the standards of others who demanded it, or people that they want to actually look at you in a different way. never fucking go to a job interview and that had to be one of the that about the rate, how much they're paying. It has to be one of the three first questions that you're asking about the job because people are gonna turn you out. Trust me. And that's one thing. My secret, myself, I'm revealing a secret actually for you to succeed. You know, you might take the advice or not. I don't fucking care. I'm gonna say how it is because I have shared with some close people to in my life about how I land jobs, especially when I play by heart, when I go with the sentiment and thinking the feeling, this is for me. This is what I'm gonna go for. All right. It might be momentary, might be in a long term. Who knows? According to how things they play, right? And the thing is, but I never ask about how much they're paying on the rate. And a lot of people they fail in that matter because they are trying to set standards for others that they are concerned about how much you get paid per hour to do something. And the thing is, when you make yourself your own self value, it consists actually making the self value by what you can provide more than actually putting a price into it about what you're willing to commit to. And also, a kind of a that's a part of the test of you're really willing to stay for good, or you're just another fucking disposable person, and you're just there for a season or for a reason, right? So I'm not putting this as a bash to anybody, but I'm just telling you exactly I through this program of the Nocturnal Rituals Metal podcast. Sometimes you would think Rodrigo gets sentimental, emotional, very expressive about certain views out there. People that, of course, they find himself unorthodox, or they find a kind of it's not the right way to actually lead on the way what is proposed to on things a kind of we're supposed to live the life in certain places in the world. But what happens is a kind of a for me the first thing I gotta tell you metal music was there for me in the darkest times in my life, and it really saved me a lot. And when I share this music, there's a sentiment behind. There's something that you wanna express a sense of rebellion, and not necessarily means you have to go and step on the toes of someone else, or you kind of produce violence, or you have to actually attack people or do anything like that. No, what it is about it's coming into resistance about you as an individual. You got the right to express yourself however you feel kind of and be heard. Make sure to be heard on what you got to say, and also to show exactly if you're really satisfied with what you're doing or what not. So my survey, what I'm saying right now, for what I'm working on, yeah, I'm super satisfied. I always come back home happy and stuff like that, and I feel like it's not one of those type of jobs that it tries to extract the best from you. But at the same time, there have been situations that when we're exposed in different atmospheres, especially when it comes to the daily life, because you might think it's about real life. Everything we do, every step above the ground, it's about consistent real life. And when I'm trying to talk to you as an older person, and I'm not even that old. I'm only 44, and I gotta say, kind of, I don't beat myself down feeling old at all. Actually, I feel kind of, I'm in a stage that I feel pretty experienced. I've gone through my own fair share of things, and I like to share things with younger people, especially that I work with younger musicians as well. And tell them what it is, this and that, right? Providing them advice, but I don't try to tell people how to they have to live their life. Yes, I simply share my own experiences that when it comes to individualism, because a lot of people they say, oh yeah, I'm metalhead, this and that, I do whatever the fuck I want, this and so you don't go with the prepotency when you do it. You don't have to go that aggressive about it. You just be firm about the things, the decisions that you make. And the thing is, a lot of people sometimes when they're prepotent, when they fucking wanna be aggressive about what they wanna achieve or get it their way or something, it doesn't work exactly like that. It's not programmed like that way because that alone, especially when you're trying to request for things that you're not willing to provide, you're just simply underserving of an opportunity. So you cut yourself off the opportunity, and you cannot blame anybody else about it. So you have to be a humble. You have to be a down to earth and accept that things how they come and take them as they are and give the best of yourself to it without actually putting a number to it. You just have to be yourself. Simple as that. I cannot tell you more about it. if you wanna actually talk to me like in a deep conversation about it, we can go for hours actually and hang out and everything's cool. There's never gonna be a sensation of being conflicted or that we're gonna be fighting each other. No, what happens is like a the kind of world we live in, especially like a kind of that embraces a lot of totalitarianism because that's what it's coming down to. You know, everybody say watch it, what they're saying. Right now, if someone like comes knocking at the door because I'm saying these things, come and knock at the door and what's the problem? You know, like it kind of I haven't done anything wrong. Just because I tell people exactly like a kind of I have the freedom of expression of things. I'm not bashing anybody. I haven't say any names at all. Because I tell people if you're gonna really fucking stand for something, especially you love metal so much and you represent it so much, stand by it. Don't expect sympathy from fucking public for it. You know, because it was a long battle actually, like for the recognition. If you wanna say recognition in a way in society, like about metal music, like making it through in a way. Seriously, like it was a long battle. Like people they used to get into fights before because they just wear long hair, this and that, jean jackets and shit like that, right? So at the same time, when it comes to the modern world, okay, like since things are much lighter, like they're not as it used to be once before. But sometimes I read the lyrics of the songs and like of the music that I study and go like, fuck, man, you know, like how it was fucking at those times, especially in the 80s. Like you read a lot of the lyrics. It was a lot of about resistance and fighting back and like oppression and shit like that. So I don't know what to tell you. I didn't live those times, but I kind of know the brother who actually went through a lot of shit like that, right? And he witnessed a big part of it, what it is actually like when you are totally different, you dress different with leather jackets, jean jackets, whatever it is, and you're heavy metal, and you get looked down and stuff like that, and you get no chances actually to work or anything like that, right? Because you wear long hair and everything like that. So in a way, like sometimes the experiences that I share, like it has been like a witness through the eyes of others, and I'm thankful for that power. That when I talk to people and they tell me their stories, sometimes I feel it like it's my own story, like my own experience, but I cannot take that credit because like it kind of goes beyond and to understand the struggle that they have to go through. So sometimes, like, in order to understand struggle, you have to embrace the struggle and you have to go through it in order to have a good lesson to understand the message from it. But that's all I can say, like, in a way, because I don't think like many people like in radio shows speak about real things. And when I say metal podcast, people I think they talk about podcast, they talk about anything and everything. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm playing the list of songs for you. You notice how interesting it went, like in the fourth wave of everything. But it's not just about music; it's about how you feel. And when I play the music, according to the feeling that I'm feeling right at that moment, that's how it goes on a wave of exploration of waves, sounds, and they make you feel in a certain way. Like you know, when it comes to metal, it's fucking wonderful. I feel great. I'm happy. And I know a lot of people out there who probably might be listening to this. I know they're going through a lot of fucking shit for what it is in the modern times, especially like in the latter years. And I'm not happy about it. You know, that doesn't make me happy. I don't. It doesn't make me happy actually. Other people struggling. So what are you doing in a case like that? Sometimes they probably they require someone like you to speak to them and make them realize, you know, like things, you know, you one way or the other with the little and nothing that you have, stand up for yourself and give the best of yourself. Any day above ground is a wonderful day. Only if you want to make it wonderful. But wonderful doesn't have to be like a fucking rainbow and colorful and brilliant and all of that. It's just you try to make it for yourself, for the best of it, to stand up for what you really believe on. And that's all I gotta say. And the reason why I love playing fucking metal music because of the messages that it gives you. So I take it beyond the literacy, like of what it says. So that's only me. It's a personal thing, and but you know I'm here and happy about it. Behind the screen, you can see me in camera. Basically, I know just hiding my face. You can see me actually. I have express a satisfaction about it. But at the same time, you're gonna see it in the real life as well. If you ever see me on the street, like you kind of walking and you see me, yeah, that's Rodrigo and stuff like that. And sometimes, yeah, like it kind of I don't show like I had a shitty day, or sometimes I might seem like I had a shitty day, but no, I might be thinking about something else or something. But that's life, man. I don't know. Not every day is the same, right? So you just gotta give the best of yourself. But I'm gonna knock myself out. I gotta go to bed. I gotta respond to a job that actually has provided a lot of satisfaction in my life that is changing in a way, and I'm happy about that. So you just gotta give the best of yourself and maintain things like how they are. If you're happy with it, right? And give the best of yourself to it. So we're gonna talk about the last four bands that I played. I played the band Sentencia, and that they are from Chile, and I played the song Mercenarios De La Fe. And Mercenarios De La Fe, which means actually face mercenaries, if you wanna say. Actually, like it's from the album Mercenarios de la Fe, self-titled, right? And it was released actually in 2014. And this song actually was the third track of the album. And the first time that I listened to it, and yes, I came across that because I was doing a research of a different Chilean metal bands as always. Like, I mean, as I would say, like that so many fucking bands I gotta freaking research and find out information about. So it's really hard to keep up with all of them. But I gotta say, like I was super satisfied with the sound of it, and yeah, like check out their music and to see if you find any material around and all of that. Do your homework. It's the same like me. I gotta do the homework about it. Ah, okay. And I apologize. It's been a long day. Work a lot today. So then we got Sarcophago. I played the song like The Loss of Scourge, which is actually from the same subtitle, Loss of Scourge from 1991. It's actually the evolution of musically of a sarcophagus as well, like it kind of super different to what it was like in the beginning times with the INRI, right? I mean, INRI, right? And the thing is, like a kind of a that was by that point, that was the time when they got signed. What is it like? Their video clip, one of the main video clips, how's it called? Forgot the name of it, but they appear even on MTV. So like they were getting a lot of heavy promotion about it, right? But they were not obtaining the same attention and popularity like Sepultura, even though the Wagner used to be part of Sepultura in the beginning years, right? So it was always a head-to-head combination and competition going on, similar to Metallica, Megadeth, and all of that. But at this time, it was about Sepultura and what is it, sarcophago all the time, right? So yeah, like a band that actually went through different evolutions and all of that, and they still active. Some of the members, I believe they are called how's it called the laws, something like that. But they are playing actually a very important festival that a friend of mine takes participation on it. Andres Castro actually is part of the organizer of the Subterranean Bogota Fest. And kind of, if you have the opportunity to go and check it out, go and see it. They have like a lot of underground bands actually that they never really visited or toured the country before. So this band actually that plays like a kind of the music of Sarcophago is gonna be there as well, taking participation on it. And then I played the band Sigma that I got to know them actually before I was coming to Canada. I had my friend Aldo introducing me to the band Sigma. I never got. I see them live? Yes, I did see them only one time live. They were really young. I'm still actually in touch with some of the members of the band because I have them on Facebook. And this is from the album that they released back in 2019. That is called Re-Involution. So it's supposed to be Revolution, but it's a Re-Involution kind of thing, right? And I played the track, the fifth track that's called Serial Killer. And it's a Sigma always like a kind of was one of those bands that actually like was embracing a lot of thrashcore music between hardcore and thrash metal all together. But they were actually like in full fury, like especially in the beginning times. Like of course, like what they developed over the years, like it kind of it seems like their fury never decreased. So I'm really happy about this band, of course, like for what they developed over the years. And that was exactly what the Sigma is about. If you have the opportunity, go and check them out and, and do the homework about them because they are very interesting band to check out for sure. And then we went to just to close the program. It was like the band Holy Terror. And I remember when my friend Aldo used to talk a lot about this band, like Holy Terror, this, Holy Terror, that. And you know what? For more that he was talking about it, especially from the album like a Terror and Submission, I never had the chance to fucking go through it, like to really listen to the music. So I, as everything, you just simply cannot know or kind of catch up at the time with everything at once, right? So it comes in an indicated time that you feel that you want to check it out or something, and that's why it is. So, and like it kind of getting the time, especially specifically this year, I'm being listening more to Holy Terror compared to what it used to be before years. Like when at first I was told about it, and it was just one of those things. To me, it's keep it pass it through my mind and all of that. Like I forgot to check them out, but I've been doing my homework. I've been listening to especially the album Terror and Submission more than Mind Wars, and of course I know they had two great releases of it, and this is one of them. And I play Mortal Fear, and really freaking I feel really impacted by the whole material that they got to offer. Anyways, it's time for me to go. I'm gonna shut the fuck up because that's the desire I wish of everyone because of all my preaching. But it's not even preaching. It's like just sharing experience of like how I feel. Like sometimes you wanna know the emotions of how feels a person behind the microphone all the time. Like what the fuck it really runs it through their head or how they do the things that they do, right? Because it's true. Like I've done a lot of shit on things and I like to share them. So what the fuck? Like I don't see the problem with it. Like by being open minded and open about the things that I do, right? So at the same time, like all I try to do at the same time to tell people, like empower yourself and kind of do the best of yourself as you can, like work with what you have, and simple as that, be yourself. That's the important thing. Don't try to fucking sympathize to anybody else, like kind of because or they want to change you or anything like that. Just be yourself. That's the reason why we embrace heavy metal music. And I want to say to everyone, thank you so much for your attendance, for checking out like my videos and all of that. As I say to you, you can always go to youtube.com/Cellar and check out the metal podcast of the Nocturnal Rituals that are all set on the same list altogether for you, like from the newest episode to the oldest one. Because the one on kick.com they disappear within 30 days. So like that's the most steady way for you like to check out like what I have played so far. And I always list all the songs that I have like that I introduced in one single night. So once again, I'm always thankful for everything. I thank like my family and friends for everything. Also, like if they're watching this show, like kind of even I had a conversation earlier with my mother. I told her, I'm doing my radio show, and she knows actually that the purpose of how much I love music and everything. She's always been supportive and about it, especially my wife because like a kind of they always say what me to do like what I feel like doing, and especially that's the important thing. If you're doing what you love, that's success already. So thank you everyone. Stay metal. Love you all. Take it easy. Be well. Wish you a great week, and we catch up until next week. Bye.